second. Let's get the video going. All right. You know, sometimes you don't need the long, delayed intro. Not every game needs that touch. Most do. Most do, but not every game needs that touch. That's my audio. There we go. How's my audio now? Cool.
Perfect.
Guys, presented by Prize Picks, get $50 in lineups. When you play your first $5 and use the promo code WELCOME. Welcome to Light Years. Oh, Tommy, I don't even know where to go off the bat with this one. This one, you know, that first quarter might have been the most pathetic display of Warriors basketball this season.
Oh, my God.
The comeback might have been the most inspired I've been by the Warriors this season, outside of the Spurs games. Watching the Pat Spencer show, watching the guys who buy in to play in the right way. Spencer, shout out to Anthony Melton being back. Great to see you back.
He looks great.
Buddy gave him good minutes. Guy Santos, Horford, and then to Luke and Will Richard. And then the way they lost that game was just a brutal nut kick. And part of me is wondering if it would have just been better if they got their faces blasted off in the first quarter like they did.
I said the same thing on Tuesday about the OKC game. I don't even know where to go with that. The last minute felt like it took about 15 minutes because I think it did. Just so many plays that could have, if they just went the other direction, then we're talking about a Warriors win, probably. You can't inbound the ball 3 times. Post definitely gets fouled on that late inbounds possession. Maybe VJ got the ball first, but he got hit on the arm and slapped across the face, and you can't inbound it. Last play of the game, you have a lineup of Melton, Buddy, Spencer, Will Richard and Horford out there, and you know a shot's probably kind of coming off. It's not going to be a great look, so you don't get a rebound because you have 4 guards and a 39-year-old who's coming off of sciatica. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and like go all blame Steve on this, because the fact they were in a 1-point game without really their 3 best players for the majority of the night says something about his ability to keep his guys engaged. But I would have liked some better decision making from the coaching staff down the stretch there. It feels like they made about 4 or 5 wrong decisions. But yeah, that was a roller coaster of emotions. Felt like it was over for the majority of the game. And, you know, but yeah, man, I think I'm still emotional off of it, and I shouldn't be that emotional off of game 22, 23 of the regular season. But I am. That one really sucked to lose, especially because they fought back and actually got the lead.
I'm more emotional about it because of the way they fought back.
Right.
I was ready to buy into the Hoosiers story. I was ready. I was all in for Steve.
Get the theme music queued up, man. The theme music.
I had the theme music queued up. I was ready. I was ready to just play this one.
My team's on the floor.
What are you trying to do?
But that's not how life works.
No,
Sorry.
It's not. It's the NBA. It's not high school basketball.
I really thought we were going to get that moment when they started getting the comeback. I thought we were. But honestly, it's more fitting that they lose that game. And I was just reflecting on this, Tommy. This is the perfect summation of the two timelines. Right here. Right here. Everyone fucking has blame. Their chosen ones, the lottery picks, he who shall not be named, Moses Moody and Pods, stunk up the joint and got benched.
Oh, they were awful. All three of them.
They were awful. Steve goes to his guys, and they play with heart. And it was valiant. And I wanted it, but what happens at the end? Not enough talent. Not enough talent. Just not enough talent. Like close, so close. They almost won that off pure grit and effort, but not enough talent.
Yep.
And that's a summation of all the Warriors' issues since since the front office that drafted the core guys left, and it's been replaced by Joe and his cronies. I don't know how else to put it right now. Like, I'm frustrated, I'm dejected, but it's perfect. On the one side, you have the basketball purist who's too stubborn with talent.
Steve.
On the other side, you have these guys who are just trying to force talent. And let's be clear, they do have talent. But like, talent's not everything. Talent's not basketball. Talent just means you have a higher upside. Like, all three of the guys on the bench, in theory, have a higher upside than Pat Spencer. Don't really matter if they don't lock in, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what it comes down to. And so that's where we're at with the Warriors right now. We got a coach who, he believes what he believes, and he's right to believe what he believes because he's won 9 titles between player
and an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah, exactly. And then, we got young guys who don't want to believe into it, in a front office who does not know how to manage that in any capacity.
Yeah. And to be fair, and the chat is pointing this out, I thought Moody was okay, but you still expect more from him in year 5. I would say he had a great start to the season, but he's been incredibly...
He hit a couple shots, which he has not done. You know who's shooting the last 10 games coming into this?
It's like 34%.
28%.
No, funny enough, I looked it up today. I want to say it's like 33% from 3, but it's obviously a massive departure from where he was to start the season. He's just been bad. He's shooting below 40% from the field on the season. So take that for what you will. The on-ball defense has fallen off. He's getting blown by consistently now by like guys who aren't even that good. But no, your point stands in
last
general.
7 games. I just want to put this out there. Last 7 games, 25% from 3, 32% from the field.
There you go. But yeah, like I said, your overall point stands, and it is ironic, or whatever you want to call it, to juxtapose that with Tyrese Maxey, who had 35 or 37 tonight. He's not much older than those guys. He was in the 2020 draft where James Wiseman went 2nd overall. Maxey went 20th to the Sixers. He's maybe a year or 2 older than Kuminga and Moody and Pods, and that guy's a fucking superstar. So the next time, and he hasn't been in the perfect developmental environment. The Sixers have been a fucking train wreck for 6 years.
And they've been competing. By the way, they've been competing because they have an MVP. Like, Embiid did win the MVP in 2020. It feels like a long time ago. But they're very much in their window.
Yes.
With potentially more pressure in the Warriors because they haven't won anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And roster overturn. Paul or James Harden comes in and out. Like, they're constantly overturning the roster. You should know by now. And with Maxey, that guy is going to be a superstar in the league.
He is one. Not going to be.
He literally already is. He's 3rd in the league in scoring this year. He's playing like 40 minutes a game. But I mean, I didn't think we did a terrible job on him tonight, in all honesty. He got pretty hot in the 3rd quarter there when the game was kind of out of whack. But like down the stretch, I thought they actually did a pretty damn good job defending him. Melton made him take a tough shot on the last possession. But the talent is obvious. So I don't want to hear about development or like having the right people in place to develop players or having a fair chance and all these different types of things. Maxey figured it out no matter what the environment was. And the Sixers have been one of the most unstable environments in the NBA. There is constant friction within that organization. He figured it out. So don't tell me that Kuminga hasn't been in the perfect environment, or Moody or Pods. None of the environments are perfect. Unless you're just a tanking team where you have leeway to do whatever you want, whenever you want. No development environment is perfect. If you're a great player, you figure it out. And other Warriors young guys have. And Maxey, who's in that same age bracket, he's clearly figured it out. And he's one of the best players in the league.
And I just don't know where you go here with it. Like, they all have different issues. Like, Pods, at this point, he just looks so in his own head.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the player he was the last 2 years. He's a train wreck right now. He talked way too much in the offseason. Everyone started rolling their eyes at him, and now he's in his own head about it, you know?
Mm-hmm. He talks too much every offseason.
Yeah, it was louder this offseason. Yep. You know? So that's one. Moses has been kind of the most head-down worker of the bunch, but we're talking year 5. Still the same mistakes we see from him all the time. Like, he essentially ebbs and flows as his shot goes. Every other aspect of his game is inconsistent. The defense is inconsistent. The ability to make decisions and reads is inconsistent. The ability to kind of impact the game on the glass and just as an off-ball player, it's inconsistent. It really is just down to, is he feeling it with his shot or not? Like, that's all he's got going for him at this point. And I like him as a player, but like, it's just, you don't feel him if he's not shooting the ball. And sometimes if he's shooting the ball, he's still not feeling him in any other aspect of the game, but at least he's shooting the ball. Mm-hmm. And then Kuminga, I mean, that was some of the most quiet quitting, but he's either hurt or he's quitting on the team right now. Both are believable to me. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I'm not even mad at him. To me, I'm just like, what did you think was going to happen, front office? He's told you who he is. He's told you who he is. He told you who he was over the summer. He wanted out. Like, are you surprised he's not locked in like Pat Spencer?
He told you who he was 18 months ago, 24 months ago, when he went to the media and said, I'm doubting my 9-time champion coach. And look, think whatever you want about Steve. I've certainly had my frustrations with him this year, last year. But at the end of the day, he's stamped as, if you give him the correct roster, he can win you championships. That is undoubtable. He did it post KD. You know what I mean? In the same way that like Steph and the core was validated through winning that title in 2022 as players, Steve was validated as a coach. It was a different type of roster than he won with prior to, early dynasty, KD, all that stuff. He figured out a different way to do it. Still his system, but definitely a different type of personnel. And as soon as Kuminga did that, he should have been out the door. And not because he's a bad person. By all accounts, everybody in the locker room generally likes him. Seems to be a good guy, seems to get along with his teammates. But, when he makes that statement to Shams and you don't trade him, you're essentially picking him over your head coach. You're picking him over Steph Curry.
You're letting him know he can get away with it. Correct. Anyone who's a parent understands this dynamic. You cannot give in to those tantrums. Once you've made it clear that you can do that and it's okay, then the behavior doesn't change. It's like, that is the entire issue with the 2 timeline thing. There is no cohesion. There's no basketball culture. They had one of the best cultures in the NBA, and they threw it away to try to chase some mythical 2 timeline thing. That's the issue. Like, if you have a real culture, it comes with some idiosyncratic tendencies of a head coach. Like, everyone loves to talk about how Spo's the best coach in the league. Go look at the way he treats young players.
Jaime Jaquez didn't fucking play last year.
He's difficult as hell on them. But yes. He does what every good coach does, which is, this is the standard. I do not care if you are Steph or you are Pat Spencer. I'm holding you to the standard. And Steve is wired that way. Like, he very much is wired that way. Even if some of the things that he values sometimes make you roll your eyes, like, you got to like be a little softer on like the extra pass stuff here and there. But putting that all aside, he isn't unfair. He lets you know what he thinks. He's a strong communicator. You know what you need to do to get his approval, right? And they've just created a culture where, but if you're one of Joe's guys, you're going to continue to get shots, even if you don't deserve shots. It creates this. It's quite frankly the opposite of how sports is supposed to be. Sports is supposed to be the ultimate meritocratic exercise, right? Like at its core, the beauty of sports is, you are rewarded for your work, and there's not agendas in politics, right? Obviously, it doesn't work out that way everywhere. That's life. But like the best sports teams, the best sports experiences are as close to that as you can get, right? That's as good, everyone who's played sports at any level understands like the best teams you've been a part of are the ones that exemplify that idea of do things the right way and you're rewarded, right? And the Warriors did exemplify that. And I feel like everything we're dealing with, like I actually don't even have a problem with any of the 2 timeline guys. I just want them all gone. Start clean.
Right.
Pods, bye-bye. Moody, gone. Jonathan, like you're in every trade I do anyway. So this is kind of like one of those things where it's like at a certain point, they've screwed it up so much. They need to start clean. They just need to start clean. Like part of the reason Pat Spencer and Guy Santos and some of these guys works is they came in with no agenda. They came in with no one who was going to, talk to the manager or do the helicopter parent thing with the coach about their son's playing time, which is, let's be clear, that's what Joe's done with the second timeline, guys.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know what? Go ask Pat or Guy what they think of Steve Kerr. They fucking love him. Yeah. That coach has brought the most out. Pat Spencer's not an NBA player. He will get an NBA contract. He will be.
I don't know, man. He's fucking balling right now.
Sorry, he was not a legitimate NBA player before the Warriors.
Sure. Agreed.
And he's going to be one. Gary Payton II was never going to get an NBA contract. And because of the Warriors, he ended up earning like $40 million in the league and being a viable player. Portland might not love him. They might have overpaid him. They might not have got his best years, but he is an NBA player, right? I do think the lack of alignment is the thing we see tonight. And, it's not a new concept, maybe new analogies, but it is what it is.
There's a couple of directions to take it, right? First of all, it's classic disease Amore stuff. You see it in every dynasty in all of sports. You start winning and everybody starts caring who's going to get the fucking credit. Joe saw the way that this was blowing up. And he says, well, I had a big piece of the pie in building this, and which he did. To Joe's credit, he had a lot of, responsibility in the way this was originally built. Bought the team when they had one of the worst owners in sports and installed a great front office. Bob Myers, Jerry West, Travis Slank, installed all these guys who, Larry Riley, made all these great picks, got them Steph, got them Clay, got them Draymond. Made the Iggy trade, made the Bogut trade. Like, these are all instrumental in building the dynasty. But when nobody's talking about Joe after 3 championships, he decides he's kind of got to stick his neck out and be like, hey, I built this. And that's where 2 timelines sprouts out of. But the thing is, everybody just starts caring who gets the credit too much. When teams start winning, everybody wants their credit. And it ends up being the downfall of every dynasty maybe ever.
Yeah. And let me give you a more charitable explanation, because maybe it isn't like Joe's ego being mad he doesn't get enough credit. There is the natural inclination in his position of, okay, now I've spent enough time around Jerry West. Now it's time for Papa to take the big chair.
For sure.
I learned enough. I spent time. I took notes in the meetings. I'm ready. I've learned them. Like, to be honest with you, as much as I'm clowning Joe on it, it's exactly what I would have done. So it's what most people would have done in that position.
Absolutely. So, but you're comparing it to one of the greatest basketballs of all time, and a guy who played some high school basketball back in the day and was virtually by a team.
Had 7 points. Had 7 points against Northgate High back in 2002. No, so it's like that. I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. Let's do an ad.
Yeah, let's do it.
A bunch of people want to call in, and I'm encouraging everyone.
Let's do it tonight, man. All right, Light Years Podcast. We are brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss out on any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports takes into real money all season long on Prize Picks. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do is pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win. Gave you guys a couple picks the other day. I think I had Dak more than 269 passing yards and George Pickens more than 77.5 receiving yards. Right now, that looks okay. Dak's on pace to go over 270, but Pickens has 15 yards at the half. So we're going to need the Cowboys to keep throwing the ball. So download the app today and use code LIGHTYEARS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code LIGHTYEARS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Uh-oh, did we lose Sam? Oh, no, there he is.
No, you didn't lose me. I'm right here. Apologies. Apologies as always, my people. Guys, I'm here to tell you about my friends at GLD. As you can see, as our friend Will Decker pointed out, I look like the Rock meme. Appreciate that right now. Yeah, let's get to it, guys. Where are we going? Buying men's jewelry used to be a nightmare, especially around holidays. It was either cheap stuff that broke after a week, or crazy overpriced with ridiculous markups. Guys, that's why I rock with GLD. They've changed the game. You get quality jewelry that's built to last without blowing your entire holiday budget on one item. Very important during this holiday season with a ton of inflation, by the way, guys. And unlike other companies, GLD uses real gold, not the cheap stuff. The best part, every single piece is guaranteed for life. This holiday, you got a chance to give more than just jewelry. You have a chance to give a gift that lasts forever with GLD. Work hard and change the game. GLD's holiday deals are unbeatable. For a limited time, new customers get 50% off GLD.com when you use the code LIGHTYEARS. That's 50% off with the code GLD.com. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you.
We got some breaking news here, Sam.
Oh.
LeBron's 10-point game streak has officially ended at, I believe, 1,297 games.
Well, I have a take. That is a bullshit streak because I've seen him score less than 10 in the playoffs multiple times during not just the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
Multiple times.
Yep.
Still impressive, though.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah. Not the GOAT, the great compiler of stats.
Yes, he's the GOAT at that. He's going to compile more stats than anybody. Anyway, I wanted to announce that to the people. Had to get some LeBron hate out of my heart on a night after that.
You're ready for him to be a Warrior? It's happening.
Oh, please, God, no. Please,
it's going to be the final.
No.
It's going to be the final chapter. The answer for the Warriors is not going to be to get younger and better. It's going to be to get older.
We're not allowed to have players in their prime, Sam. I think you always forget that. It's in the CBA. Along with can't trade draft picks, you're not allowed to have players from the age of 25
Joe needs his picks. Joe needs his picks for when Steph finally retires.
It's funny, and I think this is actually a good way to segue. Melton looked fantastic tonight. And off of an ACL, genuinely incredible. But you know what? How old is he? 28? The guy's smack dab in the middle of his prime. Yeah, he's smack dab in the middle of his prime. Same with Pat Spencer, by the way, 27 or 28. So, yeah, they look a little bit more confident than guys who are in their early 20s and they're ready to contribute an NBA game and they're not fucking scared. I think that's the biggest thing about, Pat, number one, is obviously he was a great athlete in a different sport. So that comes with an insane amount of confidence in general. But Melton, too, like he's been around the block in the NBA. He's played in big games. Like playing a December game in Philadelphia is nothing. He's played in the second round of the playoffs, third round, like conference finals, I believe, at one point in one of his stops. So, but point being, I thought he looked incredible tonight. It did not even look like he was, coming off an ACL tear. He was their best player tonight, and I don't even think it was close.
He looked phenomenal. I want to say it makes me excited for what this team can be when they get fully healthy, but nothing's getting me excited right now, to be honest with you. But he does look excellent. I feel for him because he's a guy who would get a 5-year, $100 million contract.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to find guys like him. Who's better, him or Caruso?
Caruso. I like just because number one, he's just more durable, and Caruso's not the most durable guy in the world.
Let me rephrase this because Caruso is clearly more durable, more proven. You can trust him. Who's more talented among the two?
Melton definitely has more to his offensive game. I don't think that's really even a question. Caruso's a better defender. I think just stouter. Yeah.
He's better. He's better scaling up, but is he better on ball? Is he better on guards?
I don't know, man. He's pretty fucking good.
He is great. I mean, he's a great player.
He's pretty like he's definitely better scaling up and guarding bigger guys. I think you could probably split hairs a little bit. If both guys are fully healthy, I think you'd probably split hairs at who's got better guarding quick guards at the point of attack. Like, obviously Melton made Maxey take a really tough shot there right at the end of the game. But yeah, he's just a really good player. And it's like a little sliver of hope for once they do get healthy, and we'll see with Draymond's foot. You wouldn't think it's super serious, but you never know with a foot or an ankle. You would hope when they're fully healthy here in about a week, he just kind of slots right into the starting lineup and things start to make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think my facetious point on that was more that the league is everyone's looking for guys who are that big defensive guard who can scale up a little bit, who can hit shots, who can run a little secondary action through, it's the new 3-and-D wing. They are 3-and-D wings with a little more to their game offensively. And they're getting paid across the board because they make winning plays. They help every team in general. And I think Melton, look, the injuries are the reason he's on this cheap deal. The injuries are the reason the Warriors were able to get him last year on that 1 year, essentially mid-level exception money deal. But if he can prove he can stay healthy, he's going to get a big payday. There's not enough guys like that in the league.
Oh, yeah. 100%. He is in that archetype of the quick defensive-minded guard who kind of does a little bit of everything. You can't really get by him. You can't really get by him at the point.
You
of
also
attack.
Can't help off of them. That's the other part. It's like, are they more versatile than a stand in the corner player? Yes. Right. Melton is definitely more versatile than a stand in the corner player. And can they guard multiple positions? Can you pick on them? No, you cannot pick on them. And then lastly, I would argue guard defenders who really know how to hand check and kind of disrupt ball handlers' rhythm are more valuable than bigger defenders these days. Just because of the way the refs call the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get away with more contact.
They let Caruso murder Jokic in Game 7 of the conference semifinals. He probably fouled him 25 times over the course of that Game 7.
Yeah, you get away with it. Like, I don't know. They changed the way they officiate. Those guys might not be as valuable going forward, but they're not right now. Guys like that get away with more. So
yeah, no, absolutely. But again, if we're just looking for silver linings here, Melton was absolutely one tonight, and the biggest thing with him is just it's always just health with him. Basically, everywhere he's gone, he's been productive and he's been a good player. I think we heard it through probably the plus minus guys, TK and MT and Slater back in the day, that one of the Warriors were shocked in 2022 when the Grizzlies did not play Melton more in that matchup because they thought he was really giving them issues. He was giving Stephen Poole in particular issues as kind of a on-ball defender, weak side helper, just because of his timing, his athleticism, his feel, his understanding, and just the whole package. So if he can stay healthy, I think you feel very good about 4 guys in your starting lineup: Steph, Melton, Jimmy, Dre. And then, you kind of slot in that 5th guy, whether you want to go small and you throw Moody in there, you want to go bigger, you put Post or Horford as your starting 5. But it rounds out the team a little bit more.
Isn't that the most frustrating thing about this team? They look like ass. Yeah. And yet, I can convince myself the right move. I don't even need a star. I don't need Giannis.
No.
I'll take him, but we're not getting him, so it doesn't really matter. The right move and everything slots in a way where I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers can actually win a lot of games.
Yeah.
That's what's the most frustrating about it. That is actually, to me, the most frustrating aspect of this team.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit optimistic here. I think nobody's running away in the West outside of the top 5. Minnesota is starting to turn a little bit of a corner. But coming in today, you're only 2.5 games back of 6. You hope you can pick up a win in either Cleveland or Chicago on this road trip so you don't drop 3 games below 500. But with the Clippers being an absolute tire fire and Dallas obviously being injured to start the year, a lot of people had them projected in the top 8. They're just not what they were, kind of chalked up to be. So the West is thinner towards kind of the middle and the bottom than people would have thought. And that's actually that's helping the Warriors right now, as dire as things seem.
Yeah. Will, my man.
Fellas, what's up? I didn't expect I was going to be speaking with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson tonight, but I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me up. Man, what a roller coaster of a game tonight, which was just a bummer, man, because, I mean, let's be honest, man, this Pat Spencer thing might be real. Like, he did this to OKC the last game.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, he hits the 3 with 95. We're up 95-94. He hits the big clutch 3. I'm going like, who does this guy think he is, man?
And
this
he was talking shit to the entire crowd.
I know.
It was amazing.
He's dropping MFers over to Philly. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, the current state of the roster, it sucks to say this as someone that's as invested as the Warriors as we are, but I'm not expecting a whole lot because Curry is everything. He's the sun, the moon, the stars. He's the mothership that covers the sun for this organization historically. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot. The first quarter, you're just going, oh my God, are we going to crack, 65 points tonight? Like, this is insane. And then just the effort, man. I mean, D'Anthony Melton, I'm really, really excited about what this guy can provide in the lineup. I know this is not what people want to hear, but with how we started tonight, man, and to just rally back, that gave me a lot of faith in the roster in terms of getting Melton back in the starting lineup. Pat Spencer's playing better than Pods right now. You guys know me.
Not a question.
Yeah, it's not even close.
You know me, man. Like, I've been out on Pods, for a while. Even last year, I think you guys asked me if Will Richard was going to make some serious money. I said he's going to make more than Pods on the season preview in his career. But I don't know what we can do with Kuminga if he's just going to be like this. It hasn't been handled great on both sides. I totally understand that, but we gotta maximize that value if we want one more shot. And I'll throw this in there too. I know I saw Andy talk about it yesterday. I was kind of like, you know what? Steph is still the GOAT. He's awesome. Those Max Kellerman comments on the Bill Simmons podcast yesterday, I'm like, send everything. I need Giannis. Get on the PJ Joe list. Like, I am like going scorched earth just at the disrespect that Curry got on that pod. It was like out of his way intentional to bring up Curry's name in a negative manner. So listen, it's rocky right now. I'm proud of the way we finished this game. But fellas, once we hit the trade deadline, it's going to be what happened with Jimmy Butler. We are close. And that's frustrating as hell to say, but give us 1 to 2 more guys and give me a healthy Curry and Draymond, and this thing is going to run again, and we're going to be in that 6 seed come playoff time, mark my words, with a chance at everything on the line. So let's go, boys. Dubs, it's a tough one, but let's get it rolling, baby.
I wasn't even thinking about that podcast, but I'm with you.
What a Joe Kellerman.
It's 2025, man. Are we really doing this?
Just say you don't like Curry. Basically at this point, just say you do not like Curry.
He is the most stamped player in the NBA outside of LeBron. There should be zero criticism of him in any capacity.
Well, think about what are we doing a podcast.
He wouldn't have won without Iguodala. Motherfucker, Iguodala doesn't even have a career.
He doubled down on his Iguodala take. It was the craziest thing I've ever heard. He doubled down on it.
Think about who the Ringer brought him in to do a podcast with.
Oh yeah, it's clutch.
I'm gonna be so excited. I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm going to be that hater at the funeral when those fuckers get caught in the gambling poker scandal, and they will. I just want to be clear.
Ooh,
you and I can wait on that. Remember, LeBron had some HGH that was signed to one of his agents' names or something. I'm waiting on that too, man.
Is this Sam sources?
These are apparently when he was in Miami.
This is everyone's sources. Will knows it. Tommy knows a guy.
We know a guy that knows a guy.
Yep.
Everyone knows a guy here. Everyone knows a guy here. This is obviously a thing. So I don't know. I'm with you. That it was just it deserves a little more respect on that front. Deserves a little more respect.
Way more respect. Love you guys.
Will, you're always welcome on here.
Appreciate
Don't make fun of my chain.
I can't, man. I'll see you in WWE next week, brother. Peace.
Oh man, dude, I needed a little bit of comic relief there.
Bro, it is what it is. I was frustrated, and then you get it off your chest. Now I'm in a better mood, and our guy Guru's coming through. Guru, I know you're frustrated. I know you haven't slept in a month.
What's going on, guys? No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the games. Obviously, I could properly watch, and I almost turned it off after the first quarter. I was just like, what is going on? But I mean, first, like you said, Sam, it's heart wrenching the way we lost, right? But I just want to say I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the fourth quarter guys. Pat Spencer, D'Anthony Melton, first game coming off torn ACL, uh, and Quentin Post, Guy Santos, man. Why doesn't Guy Santos? And I know Tommy, you say this a lot. Why doesn't Guy get more playing time than he does?
Plus 15 tonight.
Plus, he knows how to play the game, and. I couldn't help but look at the profiles of all of the fourth quarter unit guys. Like Pat Spencer, undrafted lacrosse player, has had a scratch and claw for a two-way spot on every single year. Guy Santos, late second round pick, has not been guaranteed a roster spot at any point in time. D'Anthony Melton, second round pick. These are guys who have had to fight for their right? They've had to fight for their right. And we see second timeline guys who, frankly, have been given opportunity after opportunity, even though they haven't quite deserved it, right? And it frankly started from year two of the Kuminga Moody draft, right? Where when the Warriors never signed anybody, they basically gave gave them second unit slots for no reason whatsoever. They hadn't deserved it. And this is what happens, right? When you keep giving the kids stuff that they don't deserve, they keep thinking that they deserve things that they don't actually deserve. And that's what has manifested itself. And we're now in year 5. So nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's just it feels like Joe just made this whole thing toxic. I don't know how else to put it. We can't talk about young players normally. It has to be through the hype machine of Joe talking about how they're the future, and then Fitz makes it even worse. Just getting on that, and it's just I don't want to dislike young players the Warriors have, and I don't dislike any of the ones that they don't hype. I'm just tired of everything feeling like agenda. Just let them be players. Let's see what happens. Let them be normal. I think it's actually true of all three of them, but Pods is the obvious one right now. You're setting them up for fail with these expectations. You're putting them in this position where you proclaim them. They get this sense of oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm going to be the next Steph. I'm going to be the next guy here. And then reality hits them where it's not that easy. And then we got to deal with it. And then fans are frustrated with them because they've been told, what do you mean? This guy sucks. Wait, what the fuck? And then it just creates an environment that doesn't need to exist.
I thought that Pods had his best year, his rookie year, when he wasn't guaranteed a spot on the rotation.
Yep.
He had to
that's a good point.
He had to earn it. And I mean, ever since the second season, he hasn't had to earn it because of roster construction issues. And again, right? So, and I mean, even last year, it was only when Melton went down where Pods actually started to get playing time, and he's in his own head. I feel sorry for him at a certain point, but still, it's the earned not given mentality.
I was texting with somebody earlier tonight, Pod's had more confidence in his floater his rookie year. And I think part of it actually was a developmental decision on the organization's part, whether it was just like their development coaches or people in the front office. They told him to stop shooting floaters. His floater was one of his best shots his rookie year. And they told him to start shooting 10 threes a game. It's like, guys, why are you telling a 6'2", 6'3", not very athletic white guy to stop shooting floaters? Is he going to go all the way to the rim and like score for Andre Drummond and Joel Embiid?
6'5". Relax.
Okay, whatever. We're splitting hairs here. My point is, like, they didn't, and this is not to excuse Paz. He's way too in his own head. He's been shit for most of the year. The numbers look somewhat similar to last year, but in general, he just has not been a good basketball player this year. But yeah, it comes from all angles with the Joe's pumping him up too much in the media, so they think they deserve things. And now Steve gets put in this weird spot where he thinks he has to play him for a certain reason because Joe's in his ear all the time. It's just, like you said, Sam, it's just a mess. It's just an unnecessary mess that was created by the front office. And like, I honestly get picking one or two guys during that span. If you just want to go with like Kuminga and Moody or Kuminga and Pods, but like constantly harboring all of them.
The blowhorn about it, dude. That's the bigger thing. It's like internally you feel strongly about a guy, and so you want the coach to play him. You don't need everyone in the organization repeating the same message publicly. Like that's the thing. Like it's just such helicopter parenting. It's so much like because they all say the same thing, which is why I feel like it's a message that came from above,
Raymond Ritter, baby. The GOAT.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they don't just let him be, you know what I mean? Like the Thunder have more young talent than anyone in the league. And yes, like the magnifying glass is not in Oklahoma City the way it is with the Warriors, but like let's not pretend that they're the fucking New York Yankees either. Like, let's not pretend this was not a massive organization before Steph, So,
can you guys name the owner of the OKC Thunder?
Clay Bennett.
Clay Bennett because
because we're sickos.
I mean, he did kind of dick over.
I know, but that's 20 years ago now. But my point is, has Sam Presti ever said one thing pumping up a guy in the media about how they're going to be the next this or the next that? They have the best fucking player in the NBA, and you didn't hear one peep from Sam Presti.
AJ Mitchell?
Maybe. I don't know, dude. They got like 5 of them right now.
But
I think you understand my point. It's just like you don't get these puff pieces about how special their players are because they just let their on the court stuff do the speaking.
And if Casey Wallace has one game where he doesn't put maximum effort, guess where he's going to end up? On the bench, straight, no questions asked. Right? They never had that problem because Casey Wallace knows, like, there are literally 4 or 5 guys behind me who will do the same job I will if I'm not willing to do it. So, and that guy was a first round pick, and so
a lottery
he's
pick.
doing the dirt. A lottery pick.
Maybe not top 5 pick, but he was a lottery pick. You're right, Guru. And it's I don't know. It's just they just need to clean house of this and rethink about how they incorporate young players into the roster going forward and be done with it. That's it. Like you screwed it up. It's okay. I mean, not really, but like, it is what it is. Like, sometimes you got a mess. You just got to hit eject on it and then start over and tell yourself you're going to do things differently.
Jan 15th is 39 days away, 38 days away.
Oh God, that feels
and this
way
game,
too long.
Yeah, and this game was a microcosm of why that day needs to be D-Day. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Guru.
Thanks, Guru.
Appreciate you.
Tommy, you want to do one more?
Yeah, absolutely. Light Years Podcast. We are brought to you by Cash App. The holidays are all about finding the perfect gift. But this time of year, not every deal is actually what it seems. Scammers are getting more creative to trick people into sharing their payment info through methods like fake shopping sites and giveaways that are too good to be true. Luckily, Cash App's 24/7 fraud monitoring helps detect and alert you for unusual card activity should someone gain access to your card, so you can act fast if something seems off. You can require a PIN, Face ID, or fingerprint to unlock your account and move money. So even if someone gets a hold of your unlocked phone at a holiday party, your money is right where you left it. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash for real. Just download Cash App, use our exclusive referral code SECURE10 in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
All right, guys, here to talk about your mental health, something that the Warriors are not helping you with right now. Taking care of your mental health shouldn't be harder than taking care of your physical health. That's where Rula comes in. Rula makes therapy simple, affordable, and fast. They work with most major insurance plans, and the average session copay is just $15. That's the cost of lunch. But instead of a sandwich, you're investing in your own headspace. Guys, Rula has over 15,000 licensed therapists and psychiatrists nationwide. They cut out the guesswork by matching with someone based on your needs, preferences, and state requirements. Thousands of guys have already used Rula to get the care that they need. Don't keep putting it off. Go to rula.com/lightyears and get started today. That's RULA.com/lightyears. Take the first step. Get connected and take control of your mental health, my friends. All right, let's keep moving. We got more people to get to. We got a lot of people want to get stuff out of their chest. We got Ishan coming up next. If you are in the queue, by the way, we will get to you. Be patient. Appreciate everyone.
In honor of Rula, Lightyear's therapy session.
Bro, some nights you need it more than others. Ishan, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, guys? I wanted permission for a Steve Kerr rant.
Go ahead.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Yeah,
we do not discriminate. Everyone's allowed to have their own takes.
Okay. I feel like I want to start off with this question is, did you guys fully expect them to not be able to inbound that ball and to blow this game?
Oh, yeah. I thought they were going to lose for sure. As soon as the post call got overturned, I was like, this is a loss. There's no way they're winning this basketball game.
And that's where my main point is. That's a problem that we have no confidence in this team to ever close games. And I think Steph Curry has really masked that deficiency in Steve Kerr. Like, I feel like, okay, like Steve is great in the playoffs, and I'm very grateful for Steve. Like, but it's been really frustrating these past few years. And I thought he coached well last postseason. I know people didn't think that. I honestly did. So like, I give Steve his flowers. But in the regular season, like Steve has not been cutting it for the past years. And I feel like regular season competence is important. Like, we're not good enough to like be coasting in the regular season. We're not like playoff seeding is important. We don't need to be below 500 now and digging ourselves in a hole like we did last year. And now we have Draymond in a walking boot, and we got Jimmy with knee soreness, and Steph like kind of hobbled. Like, I don't really see the path for this team to do anything this year, if I'm being honest. Like, and I don't trust the coaching staff to get us there. So for example, like, I don't understand why, let's say you're doing an inbound play and you have 5 seconds and you're doing all these motions and screens with these backup players and like trying to run a play. Like, go to the ball, get the ball, use your hard hands and get fouled or whatever it is.
It's more complicated than that. It's much more complicated than that. What I will say about the way that the Warriors rosters are built, you don't have, especially with Jimmy out or Draymond out, there's not, especially in the NBA late in the game, teams are going to switch and deny everything. Right. So the Warriors don't have a ton of guys that are supremely athletic or supremely strong. So most of these guys can't just pin, catch, and pin and seal and get a catch. So that's not really possible on this roster. So you have to draw up something pretty intricate to get your inbounds. What I would have done there personally, I probably would have gotten Gee in the game and maybe had him try to get a catch, or maybe put Pat not as your inbounder because Pat's pretty quick and athletic. I would have had somebody else take it out, let Pat get open. He seems to be pretty good at that. But those situations are complicated. Like, they are not. There's a reason that teams struggle with that late in games and they have to burn timeouts on sidelines out of bounds because the other team is trying to stop you from getting it in. And look who could they have thrown out there tonight who you trust to pin and seal your defender and actually get a catch? Who on the roster tonight? I don't know if I trust anybody to do that. So you have to draw up something exquisite to get the ball in bounds.
Yeah, and I get that, and I do appreciate your point. Like, that's fair, and maybe I am getting frustrated in the loss, but I just feel like it's a common theme that we're not able to inbound the ball. And that, I think that's something we learn in high school basketball, college basketball. Like, inbounding the ball is one of the more important things. And that comeback was inspiring, but closing basketball games is a big part of being a basketball team. And Steve Kerr is like really fumbled in a lot of games, and it's so frustrating. For example, I love the way DeAnthony Melton played tonight, but man, those last two plays, like that, they put the ball in his hands. Like, I feel like you're asking too much, or like what was working before is Pat Spencer has the ball and he's running a pick and roll with
Well, I
post.
mean, I will say this: when you're down your three best players, and you're not an incredibly skilled roster, which the Warriors aren't. Like, a lot of the Warriors' issues are more macro than micro in the game.
Yeah.
Like, when you get down to we're trying to win this game with Pat Spencer, Guy Santos, Will Richard, and those guys, like, you're praying to not get into these half-court situations where they're just not going to have enough talent to execute stuff. Now, you could argue part of the reason that they're dependent on those guys is the coaching staff, but to me, that's
and Pat had been in the game. Pat had been in the game for like 10 or 11 minutes, so I think he was pretty gassed. So I get getting him off one ball for one possession. I mean, they just kept him in. He played, I think, the entire fourth, maybe even a little bit of the third, just because he was leading the comeback.
I just feel like that's putting Melton in an unfair situation too, like, and making him kind of like throw up a left-handed scoop or whatever it was.
Who are you giving the ball to? Like, who's handling the ball? If it's not Pat and it's not Melton, who's handling the ball, buddy? Seth?
Right, but Melton went into the paint, right? And he just dribbled out for like 15 seconds and then got called for a travel.
You want me to give you guys my real Steve Kerr criticism here?
Sure.
I don't think he was hard enough on the young guys. I don't think he should have started Pods, Moody. Shouldn't have played Kuminga as much as he did. Yeah. He flipped them out of the lineup in the second half. That's what he wanted to do. But I think the first half of the game that got them down 25 points was him trying to appease other people instead of trying to win the game. In some ways, I do wonder if it would be better if he just told everyone to fuck off and said, fire me. I'm going to coach this team the way I want to. Because I know the way he wants to coach the team. For better or worse, it's rewarding Pat Spencer and Melton and Guy Santos for playing smart and playing hard, right? But there's just too much like two agenda bullshit going on with this team. In some ways, I just wish that he would just do that and force the front office to react to it.
Yeah, and I agree. I guess, like, yeah, today's game, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, I know, like, yeah, you can't expect to win, but it just feels like what I'm more frustrated with is I'm not confident in my coach to like close these games out. Like, I just feel like a lot of teams get some of these games. Like, we never seem to get these games. Like, we never can get that game where like all the players are out, we get a win, it boosts morale. I feel like other teams are able to get that, and we're just not able to get over that hump. And it's like, oh, Shea's making shots at the end of the game. Maybe like that's fair. I get that. But then like not boxing out, and like there's just like common themes of not being able to inbound or just things not going our way. And I'm like, at some point it's like, man, you should really look at leadership in that situation. That's all I kind of wanted to say. Like maybe we can disagree about the minute details of like the inbounds and who has the ball and those type of things. Like that's ball, and I appreciate talking like those points, but sure. I just feel like that confidence and that trust that I have in Steve is just lacking a really high degree in these games without Steph, and I think that's just frustrated. I'm not calling for his job. I just wanted to voice that frustration. Like, just annoying.
Yeah, no, and I think we, I opened the show with that a little bit, and yeah, I mean, we haven't gotten a lot of these games. I think the way to kind of sum it up from my standpoint is like coaches have certain strengths and weaknesses. And Steve might not be the best at like designing a late game out of bounds play. Again, I think that is more personnel related. Like even Steph, for all of his strengths, not the greatest at getting open on a sideline out of bounds just because he has physical athletic limitations. That if you have LeBron, yeah, it's easy to drop a fucking sidelines out of bound play. Throw it to LeBron. He's going to go catch it over everybody. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I do agree with you. He could be better in these situations, but I think that everything else that Steve brings to the table in general outweighs all of that. But I do, in a general sense, I do share your frustrations with that type of stuff for sure. Undoubtedly.
Appreciate you guys.
I think more than anything, by the way, Ishan, appreciate you. Have a great evening. As good a one as you can have after a game like this.
Yeah.
Games like this, which are not it's just one too many. Like at a certain point, you're just ready for a little more of a shakeup. That's all.
Sure.
Like it's not I'm not commenting on any one specific thing. Like I have frustrations with the coaching, I have frustrations with the players, I have frustrations with X, Y, and Z. It just feels like sometimes you're just due for a bigger shakeup than what we've got.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing?
How we doing?
How you doing? Had a few conversations with Tommy on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man. What? He said a kick in the nuts, man. That was brutal. I think my general I don't know, I didn't catch the guy before it's his name, but I think I generally share my frustrations with Steve. I think more of it though is like some of his unwilling. I saw some of this on the radio on Twitter, by the way. Like some of his willingness to like stick to things that aren't working for like way too long. Like all the Buddy minutes. Oh my gosh. When you have Seth Curry on the bench who just does what Buddy does, but better. Though tonight I will give Buddy some credit. He saw VJ Edgecombe, who is his fellow Bahamian, and I think they're on the national team for a little bit. Yep. He was hyped up for that. He did a good job on.
He played hard tonight. Buddy had a good night, but it's been few and far between from Buddy. But Steve has a tendency to, and I think most coaches do this, especially kind of the older school coaches, Doc Rivers, Steve Kerr. They give their veterans a little bit more. They give them a little bit more leash. They just do. Like he's not gonna pull Buddy until Buddy has fully proven that he does not deserve to be in the rotation. It's the same thing with GP2. It's the same thing. It's going to be the same thing with Horford if Horford continues to look like shit. Like, and some of that is just status within the league and its politics. Like you're going to continue to go with these guys, and it sucks when you're losing games.
Sometimes he makes just such bonehead. There was a play today where I think they this was during their like third, fourth quarter run, right? They had just gotten a couple of stops. I think they were down. I think they were down 5. They get a stop, right? They throw the ball to Buddy. Buddy runs the ball up the left. I think it was the left wing. And there's 3 Sixers back, and he decides to take a pull-up 3.
You almost made that shit. I thought it was in. Buddy was feeling himself.
I was just like, dude, like I get it. I get the confidence, but like, man, those are like, and as soon as he shot that, just because of how Buddy's been shooting this season, which has been awful, I was like, there's no way he's making that. And then he clanks it off the side rim. I'm just like,
I hear you.
It's like, it's just
I think what and Ishan, the caller before you, was kind of saying the same thing. I think what it really comes down to, again, it's the type of rosters they've constructed. They've given like the last couple of years in specific, they've given Steve like 8 guards who all like have a reasonable argument to play. And they're all somewhat of specialists, like outside of Melton, really. Like all of these guys are like they do like 1 or 2 things in particular well. So you're always kind of like, you're playing whack-a-mole. You're always kind of hunting, like, okay, tonight we kind of need defense, so we're going to go with Garrett. Tonight we kind of need shooting, so we're going with Buddy.
I think you're overcomplicating it, to be honest with you.
Sure.
They want a player over 6'7" who can fit into their system, which is to say they want a player over 6'7" who's good. Because any good player fits into their system.
There are they?
Like, and what is the most valued thing in the NBA right now, Tommy? It's going to be a guy who can play in the front court, but with actual offensive skill. Like it's hard to find 6'8", 6'9", God forbid 7 foot. Like I'm not even gonna put that there.
Everybody seems to have them.
Everybody has
No,
them.
it's hard to find those guys who can actually be on ball playmakers.
That Edwards dude, like how many times did he just burn us with random corner threes or whatever?
That's a different question. But you're right. So
Jalen Johnson was right there when they picked Kuminga and Moody. Man, he was there.
So I'm getting to the second part of my point. It's everyone wants big skill guys, right? Like that goes without saying. You want guys who you can trust with the ball, who happen to be 7 feet tall. Like no shit, right? Like they're just cheap. I don't know what else to say. They don't want to give up 3 picks for Jalen Johnson because what if Giannis becomes available? You know, like I'm going to keep going. Or like, actually, here's the good example for you, Tommy, because this is the real example. Mm-hmm. They don't want to give up 3 picks for Pascal Siakam because is he really that good? What if Giannis comes available? What if Giannis comes available and we blew our load on the 18th best player in the NBA instead of a top 5 guy?
The guy that was good enough to get the Pacers to the finals last year.
That is actually the Warriors' their biggest issue was the drafting of guys who are the wrong guy. The second biggest issue was unwillingness to come to the market and accept the price for a player like that is. Because absolutely. I would argue Siakam in a vacuum is not worth 3 or 4 picks. But on the Warriors with Steph Curry, he's worth 7 picks. But you know what I'm saying? But do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying with that? Yeah. That my argument is that cheapness where they're like, well, if we're going to give this much, we might as well just get Giannis. Well, you can't get Giannis, dude. Just take the guy you can get and go fucking win a title.
The market, your market is what the market dictates, though. Like the market for Pascal Siakam was for 3 first-round picks, even though that might seem like an overpay, because he's a really good basketball player. And first-round picks
got 5.
Yeah. Like first-round picks are they don't mean jack shit. Like they do and they don't. Like I'm just the protecting of. Really, the issue was
if they end up being 3 picks that are between 20 and 30, you're gonna laugh. You're just afraid that one of them's gonna land AGD.
You're the Clippers, right? You're the Clippers.
Right? No one wants that. Like I would be pissed if the Warriors gave up a pick and it's like you're giving someone Darren Peterson. You know?
No, I do get it. But it all goes back to letting that CP3 slot expire. Because you didn't even necessarily have to get a star, but you should have kept that money alive somehow. Because then you had to kind of give up everything for Jimmy.
I mean, they kept that money. To be fair, they kept that money alive via Buddy, via Kyle Anderson. And they utilized that to do what they wanted to do, which was go get Jimmy. I'm not mad about the way they managed the salary slot. I'm actually more mad about the decision-making because, to your point, like, they poo-pooed Siakam.
And OG.
Siakam's the one that bothers me more because Siakam is a legitimate playmaking big. Like, what is his biggest flaw? He's not Giannis.
Like they simultaneously always need help. They're always looking for help, but no one is good enough to give up picks for.
Would you rather have? Can I ask a controversial question? Would you rather have Siakam or Jimmy?
Oh man, I love
Siakam's
Jimmy.
Younger.
I love Jimmy. Siakam is younger. He's a bit more durable. He is a bit better of a scorer.
For this team, though, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. That is a really tough one. I think with the way that everything went down, I think I probably would have went with Siakam because you would have gotten him earlier. You don't have the bad start to 24, 25. Or,
and he would have been 29 at the time. Like, you're getting a guy at the close, like, the ideal age, you would have put like a 27-year-old. But whatever.
And they're in the same tier of player, I think. Yeah. You can debate on who you think is better, more of a personal preference thing, but they're about in the same tier, and Siakam's younger. Okay. But the thing was, what did the Warriors give up for Jimmy? They gave up 1 first-round pick.
1 first-round pick, yeah.
And they got lucky because Jimmy made this situation in Miami so toxic that that's all he costs. So again, we're going to face this problem in 39 days, fellas, however many it is. They're not going to want to give them enough picks for the guys that they want to get.
Well, I will make one last thing and I will get off. It is, I think, the most upsetting how much better in these last 2 games that Melton and Seth have looked than all of the other guards that are on the roster, not named Pat Spencer, apparently, for whatever reason.
It's not great. It's not great.
It's like off an ACL, like Melton was able to force Tyrese Maxey into an air ball, which basketball gods, of course, it still went in, but an air ball from Tyrese Maxey, who had 35 or 37, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Like, nobody on the Warriors roster they're giving up straight line drives. He's getting a layup. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just embarrassing. But
good to have that guy back. It's good to have that guy back.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Melton's a forever Warrior for me. Just a likable on every level. Likable human. Love his game.
He's played 7 games for the Warriors.
Forever Warrior. D'Anthony Melton. He's on the first tier. First tier is like Draymond, Iguodala, Clay. He's on the second tier. He's there with Zaza for me.
Is it GP and Otto?
Yeah. What's up, man?
How we doing?
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Petri, and I've been I can't wait to say this. Long-time listener, and finally decided to call in. And
appreciate it, brother.
Can't wait to shoot the stuff with you guys. Yeah, this is awesome. So I'm from Finland originally, ended up in Kentucky via Los Angeles, and I've been wanting to call in since Danny Ainge was making a mess out of the Markkanen deal. I'm still bitter, man. I'm still bitter because we need a Finn in the Warriors. I'm serious, man. There's this young kid. Good. He'd be great, but there's this young kid, 18-year-old, called Slim Jesus. Have you heard of him?
No. Put us on.
Okay. Mika Muurinen from Finland. Look up Slim Jesus. You will not believe what he did in the Eurobasket tournament last season. Okay. Finland was 4th for the first time like ever, and this kid had
6'11",
no respect for anyone. He's insane. He was in Arizona. He was playing for college ball, and instead of playing the final year there, he ended up going to Serbia and playing for Partizan.
Okay.
So he's there now for the first season. Dudes, lock in on this kid. He's going to be insane in the NBA. He's going to be nuts. He's going to put Markkanen to shame. Just
Slim Jesus,
I'm a little dude, Slim Jesus. And there was I think
I've seen
in Arizona where a local
yes. I'm with you, Tommy. Now I'm caught up. I did not recognize the name, but yes, I've seen the videos.
Future Warrior legend, baby. Let's go.
Let's see.
Well, so when's he? So is he another year? He's not a 2026 draft. He's 2027.
I think he was ineligible until 27 while he was in Arizona.
Okay. Perfect. And, the Warriors going to suck by then, so that's perfect. We can actually get him.
Dude, I'm talking post Steph here, guys. I'm talking. This is the guy.
Is that how dark it is tonight? Is that talking post Steph era? That's how bad it feels tonight.
We're scouting. We're scouting U17, Tommy.
We're literally looking at it. Here's the crazy part. Sam, your ad for like mental health and how the Warriors are bad for it. Dude, I was dying. I was crying laughing here. So it's just like, oh my gosh, because I'm losing hope, guys. I'm just being serious and honest here. Because I mean, I'm looking at the box score here, and had Al Horford hit 2 out of 8 shots instead of 1 out of 8, we would have.
You can't do that. You can't, like, the worst thing you can do is when they lose by a single possession, just go box score. Like, what if Pods went 4 for 11 instead of 3 for 11? Like, you can't get into that game. That's a dark place to be mentally.
Al's been really bad, man. Al's been really bad. I don't know what to say. Is he just – the funny thing is defensively he's looked okay, but he cannot make a shot to save his life. I was hoping that starting him tonight kind of like gave him a jolt, but it just looks so bad so far.
Are we at the point where that just makes him another Warriors legend, since it seems to be going around lately, man? I mean, like, Pods was 2 of 8, so it's like, come on, guys, can't we just – because I'm watching the games, and dude – what is with the aim? I mean, it's just insane at this point, because we can't. The offense is the problem. I mean,
it is the problem. I mean, 10 points in the first quarter, 6. I got to look up the stat, but they've had more like 4-minute stretches of not scoring the ball than every other team in the NBA combined.
Yep. No, not combined. Not combined. I know they're in those.
Let me go with the hyperbole.
All right, okay? All right, for sure. I'll let you cook.
But
go ahead.
It is. I mean, it's time. It's time. It's time to shake it up. Maybe we need to bring in Slim Jesus. Maybe. I mean, honestly, you can't tell me there aren't 17-year-olds who wouldn't help this team offensively.
Cooper Flagg would be our 4th best player.
What blew my mind is
Cooper Flagg's a stud in the NBA right now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's 18.
We've got 2 players between the ages of 25 and 31. So that's
really also a big problem.
I mean, that's like the major problem here, because I'm looking at all of these guys who are smoking the Warriors are generally in between those ages. And it's like, or unless they're like the young, great new freaking lottery picks that torch us, or some bench guy, number 14 on the bench, and just comes and career nights, the career night Warriors.
Yeah. Petri, appreciate you, man. Call in again.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you calling in, man.
We'll talk.
Oh. Well, I'm going to start getting to do some YouTube scouting after this.
God, so dark. So dark tonight.
Is Darren Peterson immediately the 4th best player in the Warriors?
Not even a fucking question.
0 NBA games.
Don't care. He would easily be the second most goal guy.
I think I agree with you, because I would have said Cooper Flagg before he played in the NBA, and it took him 5 games.
It took the Mavericks not playing him as a point guard.
Yeah, it took like I don't know 30 minutes of him playing close to. He still doesn't play his natural position.
No, but he's just a basketball player, man. But like Darren Peterson, same thing. DeBansa, and who I think has a little bit more, some more warts, but the offensive skill is just. He would instantly be the Warriors' second most scored.
Do you think Steve Kerr is a Cam Boozer guy? Cam's nice. I like Cam.
I'm not sold.
I'm not sold on him
he's gonna
over
be a good pro.
Those guys, to be clear, but he's a good player.
No, he's going to be a good pro, but not the greatest vertical athlete. There's a lot of, but he's going to be very solid. He'll probably be as good as his dad at the very worst if he stays healthy and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a little taking advantage of smaller guys.
Mm-hmm.
A little more of a. He'll be perfect on the Warriors. He'll be afraid to fucking go to the rim. It's great.
Be afraid to shoot threes.
Just good passer, good feel, good screen setter. Just dribble handoffs with Steph all day.
Oh, God.
That's our guy. It's not we're drafting that high anyway. So
we might be, dude. We might be.
No. We're gonna end up with a marginal prospect that we get way too in love with and spend 6 years chasing. It's much worse. Like in some ways, I disagree. Andy had this take, and I disagreed with him, and now I have to agree with him. He's like, Kuminga's a worse pick than Wiseman, and I was like, stop it. And he's like, at least they realized Wiseman sucked and got rid of him fast.
Not fast.
Faster.
You don't remember? You remember Joe's interview saying, "I still think he's going to be a great player after they."
I remember it all. Don't get me wrong. I remember it all. But his point was they cut bait in year 3, and we're in year 5 chasing this right now. Which is, I'm not saying I agree with the take, but every game I'm like, I might be there. I might be there mentally.
There's enough with Kuminga. He teases you just enough to keep enough people believing.
No, it's like the bad relationship where she teases you just enough, and you stay in it, and you hate your life, but
the good days are so good.
You packed the bag several times.
Yeah, it's like this fucking sucks, but then she smiles at you once, and you're like,
I still love her.
She has work stress. I get it. If I just work on myself, we can make this work. Maybe we just need to bring in a therapist for the two of us. Maybe we need a new offensive coordinator. We need a new assistant coach. How many assistant coaches have the Warriors brought in to fix the second timeline?
At least a half dozen.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's very like you get tantalized by a moment of excitement that projects what you want as opposed to reality.
Yep. And
then you're out there, Rula, shout out, promo code Lightyears. You're signing up. You're getting ready. At least with Wiseman, you're just like, you fucking put on 80 pounds. I'm out.
How are we doing tonight, fellas? Big picture. Let's take a step back.
We've been better, Mike.
It's gotten dark tonight. Tommy, Sam, how are we doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed. I'm ready to get to the trade deadline. That's where I'm at. I thought they were going to have more life in them to the trade deadline. If you were to ask my honest opinion, it's not that I didn't think they needed the trade deadline. I thought we would get there less dramatically.
This is the Warriors. Do they do anything less dramatic? Like this is who they've been in the Steph Curry era in the last decade. They do nothing else if not drama. Like this is why the ratings are so good with them on, right? This is what they do, for better or worse.
I think it was just a really bad confluence of events to start the season. Really just in terms of the schedule, and I know I've made that excuse a bunch, but they played 17 games by the time the Rockets played 13. They had 12 road games and 5 home games. So they were playing. You would see flashes of them playing good basketball, but with this older roster, they just look so tired so many nights. And then you lose a couple in a row, and things start to. You hear, guys aren't on the same agenda, and there's too many competing thoughts in the locker room, and then it can snowball so quick in the NBA because there are games every other night at the very least. So yeah, I expected them to be better than this. I won't say I was like right about my prediction on the season.
No, I mean I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean,
I still think it's a 51 roster, but like every day goes by, I'm like, they're not going to get there.
It might be 50-win talent, but over the course of an 82-game season, I think and that was my concern leading into the year. It's just like having a team that's this old with this much tension on it, and a bunch of guys who very clearly, even in training camp, kind of didn't get along. Like
the tensions, to me, the tension's the bigger one because, to your point, there was always going to be the Jimmy's out with knee soreness, Steph's out with a quad strain. I baked in that. I did not bake in the requisite amount of bullshit losses to the Indiana Pacers.
Yes.
Like to me, if they win 3 of the bullshit games they lost, which you could say that for every team, but let's just say they beat the Sacramento Kings without Steph. Let's say they beat the Pacers. Let's say they beat the Bucks without Giannis.
Let's just say they win tonight.
Let's say they win tonight. Let's some version of 3, and I can pull 2 more games like that. Let's say they win a few of those games that are just kind of bullshit games. Now you're talking about a 14-10 team, and I just feel differently about it. I don't know what else to say. I just feel differently about it because at some point they're going to get the easy schedule where the run comes. And if you look at their schedule, that's mid to late January to mid February. Their schedule is a joke. It's a cake right there. But a lot of these things are are you in position to take advantage of that run, or are you going to be 18-23 and you need that run to just fucking get to the 8 seed?
I think the core criticism, guys, to me, and this is, I'm a League Pass stan, so I'm kind of watching all over. Watch the end of that Lakers game with Jason Temp over on Hoops tonight or here on Playback. But I think it comes down to organizational development. I was talking about this a little bit in chat, and it's the team hasn't developed guys well enough. If you're Pat Spence is a great guy. He'll motherfuck you to death. But the reality of this is, you look across the league, you're seeing teams being able to get development on these nights where you should win.
Yeah.
And I think to some of the earlier caller complaints, whether you have complaints about Kerr's coaching or the bench or Kuminga or pods playing like shit, whatever you want to talk about, ultimately what this really comes down to is a bunch of the guys have not developed in the way that the Warriors would like.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's Kerr not leading with an organizational philosophy outside of Steph, or in the alternative, if these guys just aren't good enough. And maybe it's both. I don't know.
I think I actually feel very confident in my answer.
I'll just quickly say this, Sam. I've seen Nehemias Queta from a Celtics perspective. He was cut by the Kings 3 years ago as a two-way guy. And now he's getting 19 and 19 against the Pistons. The Warriors can't develop a big?
Yeah, but he was kicking Wiseman's ass in the G League up and down.
Yes.
Up and down. He had like 40 and 20 against Wiseman in the G League.
That was one I remember that. That was
I'll never forget
the copium over that one.
Mm-hmm.
Was that was an elite like second timeline copium day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't judge him. He's just back from injury. It's like
I mean, at the time, that's 3 years ago now.
It doesn't matter, but yes. I think you're correct. I think what was proven there, I'm going to end on this point, is that's where the inexperience of management came through. Because like you just wouldn't see like R.C. Buford and the Spurs doing that.
Yep.
They've seen enough players to make quicker decisions with like, it's not going to work. I'm out. Oh, this is going to work. Let's stick to it. The understanding that point, and that is the Warriors' central flaw. Like the desire to chase it with, because they're not bad players, they just might not be good enough players. But that's in some ways more worrisome, where it's just like, oh, what if we just bring in a new coach? What if we do this? What if we do this? You know, and to your point, we're 6 years down the line losing our minds on it.
I think that's actually a great way to frame it, as like juxtaposed to the Spurs. I can't remember what the guy's name was. They brought over a guy from Europe. They drafted him, and he basically, like a year into his career, he wasn't doing what they wanted. He wasn't playing hard enough. He wasn't working hard enough. They just cut him. They drafted him, and they cut
a first round pick.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Like psychologist,
yeah.
But like, do the Warriors hold on to that guy for a year and a half extra?
Alan Smailagic. Yeah, they did. We've seen them do it. But I think, Mike, you kind of brought up something interesting. Is it Kerr, orbiting too much around Steph? And maybe that's why they don't have an organizational, or part of the reason they don't have an organizational culture of like development. All of these other teams who are developing, they hadn't won 4 championships in 8 years. So I get like
10,000% right.
So like OKC, they have to bet on development because that's the only way they're going to.
I also reject that. I also reject that thesis because the Spurs were not juxtaposing Duncan versus development. They were just doing things the Tim Duncan way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't get into line with Tim Duncan, you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
With the Warriors, if you don't get into line with Steph, you're maybe gone, but if Joe took you in the top 10, we'll give you we'll figure it out. And that's the fundamental issue. It's not any more complicated than they thought Steph was washed. They drafted a bunch of high potential guys who needed like exploratory basketball to figure out if they're good or not.
Can I just put in one quick thing before we end here?
Yeah.
A thought on Joe. I would argue that there is a VC mentality to
of
the
course
way he manages the roster.
Yes.
And I think, we've all worked in the Bay Area a really long time. We all know a lot of VCs. We may even know particular VCs who run big companies. The biggest thing with a lot of those people is they will oftentimes give people a lot of rope. Some of the best ones that I've met will be very quick with their decision making, and they know when to cut bait. But I think with Joe in this particular instance, he looked at someone like J.K. and was like, I see the talent there. I see it.
Yeah.
I think he can work through it. I've seen it in the VC world. I can see it now. And I think that's ultimately the problem
100% what it is.
With this.
We're all on the same page about it. That's why it's so frustrating. That is why I don't care if he's going to be a superstar elsewhere.
Yeah.
They need to just like clean house.
You're not the answer. Tissue. Yeah, there's too much scar tissue. Just with all the young guys right now, just mental scar tissue. Like it might work somewhere else. It's not going to work here.
Hey, can we get Tommy some playback merch? Like Sam, what are we doing?
Yeah, I got him some hats. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one locked away somewhere.
Appreciate you, Mike. Have a good